Hunt, fish, shoot, back out on the range today. This week, bringing you guys a Taurus GX4. If you like what you see today, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been
Taurus's newest offering, the GX4. A lot of times Taurus gets a bad rap because people look at them as a budget, crappy pistol, but this one, initial onset looking at it and holding it, I don't feel that way. It has a really, really nice feel to it. And in my opinion, between picking up this and my P365 from Sig, they feel nearly identical. Size-wise, they're identical to this 365. This one's a little bit fatter, if I could say anything about that, as far as for width-wise. Dimensionally, barrel length on this is gonna be a 3-inch barrel. Just a really nice grip texture that they put on here. It's almost like a stipple job on the back end. But it's not something that's so rough that when you're wearing it on the appendix side or you're wearing it on your hip or whatever it might be, or even on your ankle as an ankle gun, it's not something that's gonna chew you up. It's not that sharp, but it is a really nice texture. You do get two 11-round magazines with this. Very nice quality magazines from Metgar. Obviously, well-known magazine manufacturer out there, and they do a great job manufacturing mags. So good quality mags, they are 11 rounders. And so obviously one more up from your Sig 365, very similar to the Hellcat with the 11 rounds. The one thing I'll say that is different from this and a Hellcat is that when you actually put your grip on here and you have a full hand grip on here, your pinky kind of flies off the bottom. Not a big deal. This is a micro compact pistol, so that doesn't bother me. My 365 I have that I carry every day at work on duty is something that is small also, in the same concept for me, that unless I put the pinky extension one on there, it's a little short. Taurus does offer a pinky extension for these, so you can put that on there and you won't have that issue any longer. It has a swappable magazine release on there. Good position and everything on there. Again, nearly identical to the 365 as far as for that magazine release. The texture has texture as opposed to 365, but a very similar size and design. Let's talk about the trigger on the Taurus GX4. Really nice trigger. I do think so. It's a little heavy, but let's pull it. And with that, it has a really nice wall that you hit. It's very defined, and there is zero creep at that wall, which is what's nice. And then it breaks nice and clean. It's definitely heavier than your Hellcat, the 365, even your Shield, the new Shield Plus that's out there. It's heavier than that. But overall, it's not a bad trigger. It's just a little heavy, even heavier than your Glock 43 or the 43X or the 48, which very similar triggers in that. But the overall design, blade of it, and how it feels in your finger is nice. It's easily reachable, and I do have larger hands. And I mean, the fact that it's heavy, we can get around that, just practice with it and get used to it. There's nothing out there aftermarket-wise for triggers yet with these. Will there be? I honestly don't know that, but it's not something that I feel like it has to be changed because it's such a deal breaker. It's not that bad of a trigger. It's just a little heavy. But a nice clean break, and you have a nice short reset. Somewhat tactile, not very loud, not like a Glock in that respect. 365 is pretty similar to this, and the Hellcat is a little bit louder, almost like a Glock also. But overall, the design and everything like that you're getting on this is nice. The fit and finish of it looks excellent. It has very nice frame rails that go all the way through, full length almost. And then on the slide itself, you have front and rear cocking serrations. In addition to that, you have sights on here that are steel, and they are interchangeable with Glock sights. Why most pistol manufacturers don't just do that and make it almost universal essentially is beyond me, because there are so many options out there for Glock sights, and it's just a nice feature that you can switch those out so easily. No optics cut on this, but judging by what I've seen from Taurus, with they're starting to offer optics-ready pistols, I would ration to believe that in the future they're gonna have something that you can put an optic on this. And if they do that, this pistol from the initial onset would probably be a very nice pistol. So let's shoot it today. Let's see how it shoots, and we'll give you guys some thoughts on that. We're on the firing line now, so let's shoot this Taurus GX4 and see how it shoots. Yeah, I kind of take back what I say about the trigger, or said about it being heavy. It's heavy, but when you're actually firing the gun, the reset and the pull of it and everything like that, it's really crisp and smooth. It's a really nice trigger. And this gun, if somebody was to put this in my hands blindfolded and shoot it, there is no way I could possibly tell you this is a Taurus. And there's one thing I can actually say about Taurus, for as bad as a rap as they get, I have test fired a lot of Tauruses that, let's just say, I've seized in the line of duty because they're illegal firearms and somebody does something illegal with them at the season. Well, that to be test fired. Every single time I've ever went to test fire the Taurus G3, the 2, and the 1, they always go bang. I will say that. So, I mean, this is just a really nice pistol, and at a price point of like 400 bucks, that's pretty hard to beat, especially when you're looking at the 365 that's up there close to 6, and your Hellcats are close to 6. Just really nice, and the grip and everything like that. And really to talk about, because I almost forgot, is that you can actually change out the back strap on this, which for me is perfect, and the angle and everything like that feels good. So I can't wait to shoot some more today, and you guys will get to see that. So we're at about 15 yards. I'm going to take the Taurus now, and I want to shoot the smaller steel and see how it does at distance on a smaller target. Yeah, really happy with it. Point of aim, point of impact, everything like that seems good for this type of distance. Have a 3-inch barrel and pretty easy to hit. When you start getting out to this distance like this, that's where you start noticing that the trigger's a little heavier. It makes those shots a little tougher, but that just takes you have to know that you have to really maintain a good trigger pull or trigger squeeze on there, and good sight alignment all the way through. But overall, this gun, it shoots really well. We're about 50 rounds through it thus far. No malfunctions whatsoever, and I'm impressed. Malfunction. That thing. Let's talk about that real quick. Malfunction on there, good primer strike and everything like that. Failure to eject on there. It actually didn't pull it out of the chamber itself, and then in turn almost had a double feed, which it didn't really even pick the round up to really truly double feed it. Just a little bit, so malfunction, a little bit disappointing, but again, if you're gonna have a carry gun, you gotta shoot it a lot to know if it's reliable or not. One malfunction thus far in about 100 rounds, it's not really something I'm gonna discount the pistol whatsoever. But while we're on the topic, I guess, of something negative, I wanna talk about the takedown on this. What's absurd in my opinion is that why this pistol doesn't just have a takedown lever on the left side of the firearm for, like, let's say a right-handed shooter, like every other micro compact out there, is beyond me. I really don't know why they did that, where you actually have to use a tool, which they give you a little tiny GX4 pistol like model. You can put it in there, it's like a screwdriver. What I can tell you though, because I've tried it, you can actually take the back of a spent shell casing and you can turn that lever. So not a big deal in that respect, but again, just really don't understand why Taurus didn't just put an actual lever on the firearm itself. All right, real quick, I want to cover it as I look at these mags. I didn't really notice it before, but on them fully loaded with 11 rounds, you'll see, and you can actually see it, the base plate is starting to bow out on the bottom. Mekar makes really good mags, well known for it. Whether or not it's going to cause any issues throughout the shooting of this pistol, I can't say that at this point. It's a little too early. But so what I've got here is I've got 11 rounds in both these magazines. Winchester 115 grain. This is actually the duty ready ammo they have, which is just a flat nose almost, or range ammo per se. The other one I have Winchester Ranger ammo, which is a law enforcement hollow point. I run it in all of my defensive weapons pistol wise. It shoots really well. There's a lot of stuff out there about the Winchester Ranger ammo, and out of all the reviews I've really seen, I haven't really seen anybody shoot any hollow points or defensive ammo really through this GX4. So I'm going to do that. Both of these mags, I'm going to blow through them about as fast as I can and still be accurate to an extent. So let's do that, and hopefully we don't replicate that malfunction. Nothing. Perfect. So I like to see. We had kind of a little bit of concern that we talked about there right before that shooting segment, that maybe running the pistol faster would induce that malfunction. Another possibility is I did have 2 types of ammo in the magazine, because kind of a grab bag of ammo that would get left over on occasion from boxes. But right there, I just ran through, 22 rounds, ultimately almost about as fast as I could run this pistol and still be accurate. Hollow points ran good. The pistol's dirty now at this point, really darn dirty to be honest, from shooting the Blazer that we had. So the one malfunction, I'm not going to hold it against it, because overall this pistol shoots really well. I think it needs more rounds out of it to put a stamp of approval on it if you're going to carry it yourself. But thus far for us, it's a really nice pistol, and it needs to be taken into consideration if you're not looking to break the bank and you want a micro compact. So if you liked what you saw today from Hunt, Fish, Shoot, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. But follow along next time with Hunt, Fish, Shoot.